Series can be on two types, sum or product. For those types of problems we use for loops. On sum series we'll find sum, and on product series we'll find product. If we start with sum series, we'll take an example. We'll need to find the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus x. That x will be given by the user. If the user says, I need to find the sum of 5 numbers, our for loop will be for integer I equal 1, I is lower equal than 5, I plus plus. We'll have sum equal 1 plus 2 plus 3. This is I1, I2 and I3. Write here sum equals sum to save the previous value plus I is 1. On the first, sum is 0. Now, if I is 1, sum will be 0 plus I1 equal 1. On I2, sum will be 3. On I3, 6. On I5, sum will be 10 plus 5, 15. And that's the value that will be printed to the user. If we take another series, the user says, I want to sum up 4 numbers. On those series, we need to analyze the problem. And we need to split the series in 2 parts. What will be? First part 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus x, and second part would be 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus x. You'll find the formula for this. We have 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2 plus 2. We know those series. What will be the formula? Sum equal I divided by 2 and I. Sum will be sum plus I divided by 2 and I. I1, sum will be 0 plus 1 divided by 2 and 1. That will be 0.5. We'll continue I2. The result will be 1. On I4, sum will be 2. And final value that will be printed to the user is 2. Another example. I is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sign are plus, minus, plus, minus. As you can see, I on even position is negative, and we need a condition for this. Our series is 1, 4, 9, 16. That is the square for each number. 2 squared equal 4. 4 squared 16. That's our series. So you simply write I multiply I. If the user says I need to sum 3 numbers, condition will be if I percent 2 is 0 or I is even, sum equals sum plus minus 1 multiply I and I. Else sum will be sum plus I multiply I. First sum is 0, I1. 1 is odd. Sum will be 0 plus 1, 1. I2 even. Sum will be minus 3. I3 sum will be 6. That is the value that will be printed to the user, 6. A product series. If the user says, I want the product of 2 numbers, you can see that here is sum, and we know that this series, sum of this will be sum equals sum plus I. As we said, sum equal sum plus I, and the product equal product times sum. If we start I1, sum will be 0 plus 1 equal 1, and product 1 times 1 equal 1, and on I2 sum equal 3 and product will be 3. final value will be 3. First, we'll declare elements that will be sum up. Integer, number, sum equals 0. Printf, give the elements, number, scanf, %d, and number. For loop will be for integer I equal 1, I is lower equal than number, I plus plus, sum plus I. As we said, on the last printf, sum is %d, get char, and return 0. On the last, we'll compile our code and see if we have any mistake. Elements number 3, sum is 6. We write cos 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. We'll return for loop and sum will be sum equal sum plus 2 multiply I. We'll compile elements number 3, sum is 12. We write, we'll declare float sum and the two parts will be A will start from 1, B will start from 2. For loop, integer I equal 1, I is lower equal than number, I plus plus, sum equal sum plus A divided by B. We'll have A equal A plus 1 and B equal B plus 2. If you make a debug for this, we'll see number of elements 3. Sum is 0, A is 1 divided by 2. On the next step, A plus 1 and B plus 2. A2, B4, next A3, B6. As we said, on the last, sum is 1.5. If you want only 2 zeros after comma, we'll write here 0.02. Number of elements 3, and we are right. On this series, as you can see, on even position, numbers are negative, or I is negative. We'll say, if I residue 2 is even, we'll say sum equal sum plus minus 1 multiply I and I. Else, we have an odd number, sum equal sum plus I and I. We'll compile our code and see the result. Give the element 2, we write cos 1 minus 4 is minus 3. On this series, we'll also need sum, integer sum equal 0, and multiplication will start by 1. For loop, sum will be that here and that here. What will sum? Is I that is being summed. Sum equal sum plus I. And multiplication equal multiplication and sum. On the last, product %d mul. Get char and return 0. Now we'll compile our code. Number of elements, we'll say 2. Product is 3, as you can see here. We write